That's Delightful, a member of the Pod Bros Network.
Welcome to That's Delightful. Online at facebook.com/That's Delightful. Now time for That's Delightful.
You talk about how Michelle's unhireable.
So
Fucking Kaiser.
I told him, I was like, when I get bored, I'm going to make a big deal out of this. Like,
Michelle putting up a fight. I'm shocked.
right.
I better go turn down my phone.
Oh, we need to revisit that shit because I listened to it. It was fucking Siri, auto Siri.
It doesn't matter what it was.
Yes, it does, because it wasn't. My sound was off.
So you're telling me that the iPhone 8 can not be truly 100% silenced in any way whatsoever? That when it's absolutely necessary for the iPhone 8X Breaker 19er to be 1,000,000% silent, it's just not possible. No matter where you are, Siri will pop up and say whatever she wants, whenever she wants. It does not matter.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, and you're gonna stick to that.
Yes.
Okay, I feel like you're smarter than that.
You shouldn't feel that way.
The level of security detail I should have to go through to prepare for a podcast should not take into account the auto triggering of Siri on accident by my podcast mate whose voice is very similar to mine at times.
You know, I could take a look at a steak by sticking my head up the bull's ass, but I'd rather take the butcher's word for it.
Oh, good. There's that line.
I do have to say that if I were a bad guy and I was looking for the good guys who were hiding from me, that'd be a good way. Like 50% of the population owns iPhones. I'd just walk around and be like, "Hey Siri,
Siri.
hey Siri."
Episode 56, Facebook.com/That's Delightful, Patreon.com/That's Delightful, on Twitter @DelightfulCast, and of course our website, TotallyDelightfulStuff.com. So,
Yes.
let's rip off that Trump Band-Aid because there's a few things here that we need to talk about. And I think we need to cover Pittsburgh and them getting ready for riots in case Mueller is fired. Comey, you were saying with this new book, is overplaying his hand. Syria happened, but apparently nothing important was actually destroyed in Syria. And Nikki Haley says she never gets confused. Who wants to start with what? Go.
I think you pretty much summed it up.
Yeah, we're done now. No, I'm just kidding.
All right. At DelightfulCast, Facebook.com/That's Delightful. We'll see you next week, folks.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah, where do we want to start on this one?
Some weeks ripping the Band-Aid off, it's like it's on the fleshy part with no hair, but this week it's kind of like ripping it off with a gooch or something.
And it's like an actual Band-Aid,
Like it's going to draw blood. Yeah.
Not an off-brand that just comes right off.
My prediction is that Trump is never going to get impeached. He's going to fire Mueller and everything's going to be fine.
So why don't we
Because-
start? Go ahead.
Did you know that over half of Republican voters now believe that the Mueller investigation is unfair?
In regards that they believe it's a witch hunt and that they're okay.
So NPR did a poll and the results showed that 50% of Republican voters believe that the Mueller investigation is unfair and a witch hunt.
To be fair, what probably happened was NPR called him at dinner time, and they said, "Yeah, sure, whatever, Mueller, yeah." Wheel of Fortune starting. Get off the phone.
I don't think they would call it dinner time. NPR doesn't seem like they would be that disruptive. They're a very thoughtful, considerate publication.
That's true.
So in the midst of all of this, now what sparked the initial investigation was Comey being fired, right? That
Yes.
was like the tip of the sword for this one. The town of Pittsburgh is getting ready to. They're bracing themselves for a riot. They've got their police with riot gear in case Mueller does get fired. Comey just released his book. You were saying Comey is overplaying his hand. How is that happening?
So you got someone like Mueller who is sort of like the ideal, right? Has anyone heard his voice before? Has anyone we
Robert
see pictures
Mueller?
of his? Yeah.
No.
Bobby Mueller. Yeah.
You never know.
Robert Mueller?
Robbie.
Bobby Mueller? No,
Robbie.
come to think of it, I haven't heard from him in a while.
I hate you.
No, he lets his investigating do the talking, and then we have Comey, who, let's just be really clear, he's not on anybody's good list. He is hated by the Democrats because he fucked up Hillary's chances 11 days before the election. He's hated by the Republicans because Trump told everybody to hate him. So nobody loves him. What are you doing, Michelle? I'm spitting verbal gold here.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize I had to keep my focus on you at all times. Go
We're
ahead.
doing a podcast. What are
I
you
can
talking about?
hear you and pay attention to another. You are
What
such an
did I-
attention whore.
I am. I live alone. My dog won't sit with me anymore.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. That was pathetic. Go ahead.
My dog won't sit with me.
You have a dog?
My imaginary dog that I haven't admitted exists publicly. Oh, man.
So-
I have a dog, everybody. Please don't tell my landlord.
So Comey right now basically has tour dates. So
Yeah,
he went
he's
from
doing
being
a
an
book
FBI
tour.
director. He went from being FBI director to like James Comey on tour.
You saw little glimpses of it when he testified before Congress about Trump.
Yes.
His objective nature is a little bit shaded in with a lot of personality. You could tell the talking points that he had, like he probably practiced his jokes in front of the mirror. Maybe he called his golf buddies and said, "What do you think about this one when I testify before Congress? Is this one funny or is it too far?" Like he had like laugh points in his
he's
speech that he
6'8"?
delivered. What?
Yeah, he's
That
tall as
motherfucker is
fuck,
6'8".
dude.
Oh, never mind. Everything I said. A 5'8" guy can't get away with this shit. 6'8", he can say whatever he wants.
He was pretty
fucking
candid
tall.
in a 60 Minutes interview. He was pretty candid.
But he goes
was-
highbrow and
yeah.
lowbrow. Like
Yeah,
if you
he
want to condemn the president on moral grounds, don't comment on his skin and his hair. Like
He took some shots. I think he just said what everyone's thinking is this guy tans way more than he probably should.
But so what?
He made the same assumption that everybody makes, that he was wearing little goggles over his eyes.
that's a joke for a late night talk show host, not the leader of the FBI.
So he also made sure to mention that his wife and his daughters were at the Women's March that you were at in Washington.
Yeah, he did.
When that happened. I think he was basically, because he said in
He's
that
chosen
interview,
a side.
He said in that interview he did not vote because he did not feel that it would be fair for him to vote. But I think that he was also saying what he would have voted for had he voted, by giving a little political background on his family and what they did during the time of the election.
Well, I also think that he wasn't just choosing a side, he was posturing for supporters, because he essentially is largely believed to have fucked Hillary Clinton out of the ticket, which, I mean...
Yeah, the country was ready to grudgingly hand her the presidency as the lesser of two evils, and he nudged it slightly in the other direction.
Right.
I don't think so. I mean, I think that what he did was shitty, but I don't think that was the...
No, I don't either.
I don't
She
think that was
fucked
the straw
herself
that...
over.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying that was the perception,
Sure.
is that he did that.
It was a shitty thing to
And now,
do.
and he was regaled by Trump supporters at the time for doing it.
Yeah, as a paragon of integrity.
Right. And now he's hated by Trump supporters because obviously he's in with the witch hunt. So he needs somebody to buy his book. So
Well, people are buying it.
So that's what we need to be
chosen the
clear
liberals.
about.
He has chosen he wanted the liberals to buy his book.
But really, what liberals are going to be like, you know what? You're a stand-up guy. He has switched gears from being objective to selling books and making money. I mean, if he was wanting to bolster the case that Trump has been trying to make, that people were gunning for him talking about how he would have voted for Hillary is not helping anybody's case. It's helping to put money in his pocket, and that's it. I'm a little nonplussed. It feels not very classy the way he's going about this. I bet you anything when all of this is over, Mueller is not going to do a book tour like this.
The one thing Trump said, or not Trump, the one thing Comey said that I have tended to agree with silently, because everybody calls Trump an idiot, was they said, should he be impeached or removed from office? And he said, yes, but he should be removed from office because he is a very smart man. He is of above average intelligence, who is not presidential at all, who is not fit for this job. But don't take away the fact that he is a very intelligent person. He is a smart person.
Yeah.
And he knows what he's doing, but he's not acting in the country's best interest. He's acting in his best interest.
Yeah, he said we shouldn't get rid of him on legal grounds. It should be on moral grounds, that he's morally not worthy of being president, which, again, is a case that's tougher to make when you're taking cheap shots at his skin color.
The one thing that irked Michelle was, he said, I don't think America should impeach Trump. I think America should have to endure Trump.
No, we
and then go back and vote. And to that, Michelle, you said,
No. No, we shouldn't. The whole thing was like, well, America should deal with the consequences of their vote, and then, take it the way it was supposed to be done and take it to the voting box. No. Mm-mm. No.
I want him to go away. I'm over him.
And we also, my answer to that was actually that we also vote for our representatives, and if our representatives opt to impeach him, then we voted for that as well in the voting booth.
Yeah, agreed.
That's all I can say about that.
So let's move on to Syria, where apparently we dropped some bombs a week and a half ago, and we all thought it was going to be the start of a nuclear
Sorry, that's
war.
not funny.
We all thought this was going to start a war with Russia. Turns out we didn't really bomb anything important. Syria still has chemical weapon delivering capabilities. And in the middle of it is this woman named Nikki Haley.
No, she's not in the middle of it. She's the...
She rode the missile. Like in Doctor Strangelove.
She's the UN ambassador.
She's the UN ambassador.
We were going to sanction Russia harsher for the chemical weapons.
What usually happens is Trump starts going in a direction and sees how the public reacts to it. And if he doesn't like the public exposure the story is getting, he reverses course. And he has no problem throwing his people under the bus. So it looks like he was kind of going down a storyline that involved him becoming tough on Russia all of a sudden. Sort of, by tipping off Russia that we were going to shoot missiles at Syria and then giving them time and then not really shooting at any valuable targets. But on the surface of things, it looks like he's toughening up on Russia. And that included a plan to lower more sanctions against Russia. And so Nikki Haley, the ambassador to the UN, said that in public. And sometime between the day she said that and the next day, Trump decided to change course, and they threw Nikki Haley under the bus and suggested that she didn't know what she was talking about. And so one of Trump's spokespeople went on one of the, I'm assuming Fox News, and said she's a very good UN ambassador, but it appears that in this case she was a little confused. And Nikki Haley responded with a statement that said, with all due respect, I don't get confused.
Right.
Which I think is pretty awesome.
That
Really,
is pretty awesome.
She's
She's
one
a
of the
horrible
more
human
likable
being.
people. No, but she has contradicted Trump more times than anybody else in the cabinet.
Well, yeah, when you have two narcissists going head to head, it's just going to be a matter of...
What's your beef with Nikki Haley?
Really?
Yeah.
The fact that she constantly threatened to pull out of the UN with or without Trump. I mean, she's...
Oh, yeah.
She's...
Oh, yeah.
I don't like Nikki Haley. And she was like, we're going to take names of the people who aren't supporting us. And
That's right. I knew there was something.
she's a horrible human being.
That sounds like Bush Jr.
Yeah,
With
if you're not
with us, you're against us.
And that's pretty much what it was.
Can we also just call attention to the fact that Trump, after this missile strike, went ahead and said mission accomplished?
Yes.
A really lovely echo of the one of George W. Bush's biggest mistakes of his presidency.
GWB did it after he came in. Okay, he
flew on
it was
a-
wrong, but the motherfucker came in on a fighter jet onto an aircraft carrier in a jumpsuit and said, "Motherfucker's mission accomplished." So he was wrong, but he did it like a boss.
He had a banner made. He was wearing a codpiece.
What was the mission that he accomplished? I don't remember.
The Iraq
that.
War. Like, he went in and said, "We did it, guys.
Mission accomplished."
Mission accomplished.
Oh, good.
That was like 6 months into the engagement.
Trump, France, and the UK bombed some like not so important targets in Syria, and then here comes Trump. Mission accomplished.
Yeah. It was a beautiful strike. It was perfect. Mission accomplished.
What was the mission? To not hit anything?
To show us that he is really good at taking the headlines away from the Mueller investigation. That was a mission accomplished.
Well, did you hear that? I think both sides have accused France, or the UK and US has each accused the leaders of following the other. So people are saying that Theresa May wanted to do this and Trump jumped on her bandwagon. And people in the UK are saying that she is a tag along for Trump. So
It is a little weird to see him all of a sudden like collaborating
Right?
with all these European nations that
why the fuck is France like? What are freedom fries?
Enough said. Freedom prize.
When did the conservatives start liking France? Explain this to me. 'Cause
French sniper
Toby
rifle,
Keith,
never fired, only dropped once.
Toby Keith actually has freedom fries on his fucking menu.
Is that a
at
French
his
fries?
restaurant? Yes. So when did it become okay to like France?
When they drop bombs.
If I'm not mistaken, during the McCarthy era, the Russians were known as communists. So when did Russia become cool too?
Well, Donald Trump said so. He's the new cool guy. In a 80s movie, if the high school quarterback decides that the nerd is cool and can come to all the parties, the nerd is cool and gets to come to all the parties.
Donald Trump had a special Russian friend. I don't know if you ever saw that movie in the mid-'80s called Ruskies.
Ooh, yeah.
You ever see that?
Yep.
So the main character in that was the kid that played Ralphie in A Christmas Story.
That's right. And
they ended up befriending a Russian fighter pilot who was, for whatever reason, downed in Pittsburgh. Or wherever they were. Why was there in the first place? We don't know. I think Trump had a friend like that and then just made Russia cool.
Crashed in Trump's backyard when he was a kid, and Trump raised him like he was his own.
I fed him. I pet him. He was my special friend. All right. The White House is a mess. Trump is a mess. Everything is a mess. Facebook.com/That's Delightful.
Hold on, just to add on to this really quick. I just found a headline where they're talking about, because, obviously Michael Cohen's office was raided by the FBI and they took all this evidence. And so it looks like the judge is likely going to appoint a special master to oversee the evidence in the case and determine what can be considered attorney-client privilege and what can't. So just of interest, Michael Cohen had a lawsuit against BuzzFeed and GPS Fusion, which were GPS Fusion was the Steele dossier.
Yes.
So he had a lawsuit going against both BuzzFeed for publishing it and the Steele or GPS Fusion for creating the Steele dossier, and saying that there were allegations that he had met with Russians and they were false, and he wanted to bring them to trial for basically defamation. It wasn't defamation, but something like it. So he dropped the lawsuit today. He withdrew it. And
so they must have found something to back up his claim.
GPS Fusion said, basically, we suspect it largely has to do with the fact that his claim had no merit. And also, if he wasn't looking forward to the discovery process where he had to prove that we
if I was
wrong.
GPS Fusion or BuzzFeed, I'd be like, no, you can't drop this. We want to be sued.
No, sue us.
Yeah.
We're countersuing you, motherfucker.
BuzzFeed is the news. I mean, good luck with that. But
it's funny that we say BuzzFeed is the news, because BuzzFeed is also where we take a quiz to find out what slice of pizza we are.
yes, but did they sell it to Cambridge Analytica? Just saying, BuzzFeed.
Ooh, game set match.
All right, let's move on to Starbucks, because no doubt everyone's seen the headline that Starbucks had. This was in, where was it? Philadelphia.
Yeah.
A barista called police and said, we have two gentlemen here who won't order anything. They asked to use the restroom, and you have to buy something in order to use it. They won't order anything. They're just sitting here. They won't leave. Can you please come do something about this? So police responded, showed up, put both men in handcuffs, and led them out. Both men were black. Both men were waiting for a friend to discuss business deals.
They were real estate agents.
Real estate developers. And they were taken out in handcuffs. It's all being caught on video by customers nearby who are even asking the police as they're taking them off, why are you doing this to them? They did nothing wrong. They did absolutely nothing wrong. What did they do?
And one guy even said, I've been waiting here. I don't have anything. Why am I not getting asked?
So Starbucks, in response to this, there's so many different things to talk about here, but Starbucks, the long and short of it is the CEO of Starbucks personally met with both men and apologized. The manager who called the police is no longer at that store. Now, I couldn't find out if she was fired or just no longer at that store, because the verbiage they used was she's no longer at that store.
My guess is she was fired.
Her shift was over. She just went home to have a nap.
Right. She is not at the store.
She is not in this store.
So
we will not have her here for another 8
Starbucks
hours.
also on the 29th of May is going to be shutting down all of its stores in the afternoon to have racial bias training. Now,
so if you're black, do not go into a Starbucks until the 30th of May.
I want to see the racial bias training with the black baristas or the people of color that work for Starbucks in general, just to see the really uncomfortable white person that is conducting it. talk about race relations.
So here's my question. Because undoubtedly this was terrible. It should not have happened, and the barista who called the police made a huge racist error. That being
Probably
said,
had no idea that it was racist either. I bet you
She was like, I am nailing it.
I bet you if you called that barista right now and asked her, she'd be like, I have a friend that's black.
right?
This is not about race.
What did Daniel Tosh say? I have a friend who's Cuban, and that's close enough. But people are really villainizing Starbucks as a company. And Starbucks, if I read right, hires refugees. They take care of their employees for education no matter who you are. It seems to me like Starbucks is a pretty diverse company who had one bad apple in their basket.
And I don't even know that the person was necessarily a bad apple so much as you've
Person with no soul.
or you've got severe implicit bias that you don't recognize or
Right.
understand. And so you're going to see two black gentlemen sitting at the coffee shop. They're not doing anything, and you're going to be suspicious that they're going to do something, but have no idea that it's because they're black.
So at this Starbucks location, protests are popping up in there a lot. And I'm wondering if that's something that's, like you said, we don't have the right to tell them how to protest or anything like that.
No.
But in this instance, is this warranted?
Why wouldn't
Well,
it be?
sure. I mean, if you get into a car accident with somebody, are you not going to pursue a claim on the insurance just because the person you got in an accident with was a decent person who probably didn't mean to crash into you? I mean, this is a case where there's an issue that needs to be addressed. They could protest it to raise awareness about the issue. It doesn't mean Starbucks is evil and should go out of business, although for separate reasons, maybe they should.
There needs to be, so I would say that there probably needs to be more awareness made about stuff like that than the general outright white supremacy. We know that white supremacists are racist.
We all agree they're dicks.
Right. And I don't, the only person that supports them is Donald Trump.
There's some very good people on both sides. Both sides.
So the only person who supports white supremacy is Donald Trump. But other than that, I mean, the awareness, the discussion needs to be had about implicit bias. And Harvard actually has this whole website. They've had it for years.
It's awesome.
It is. And
It's
it'll
terrifying.
freak you out.
Yeah.
Because,
I'm super racist,
Yeah.
it turns out.
Yes,
I have so
because
much
you're like,
implicit
holy
bias.
shit, I have implicit bias, and I didn't. And it's all instinctive. It's just random
reaction
keys.
time
Yeah,
stuff.
you use keys. They measure your hesitation. They measure, the accidents or the mistakes that you make. And basically, like they'll put pictures up in rapid succession, and you have to associate it with the image. And they'll have like a black person, and you're supposed to associate it with I don't know, all positive images, and do it automatically, and it measures how often you make the mistakes. Anyway.
Yeah. Or how long you hesitate before answering, like how much your brain has to think about it. It really is, like, it's a tricky thing to wrap your head around because it feels accusatory, but it's not. It's a good thing to know what... Another way to think about it is you might be much more comfortable interacting with certain kinds of people who are similar to you that you have more experience with. And if you have less experience, or if your experience has given you certain biases that you haven't considered yet, there's no way to learn about it without something like that, where you are kind of confronted with the assumptions you make without even thinking about it.
And I feel like I need to add in here, because I've seen it a lot lately where people get really mad. Well, I didn't know, and this person was really rude. It is not that whatever person you have a bias against, it is not their job to kindly educate you. They can if they feel
Right.
up to it, but people get tired of microaggressions. So eventually, if you call me little lady, or
Right.
by my first name, or
I get you, sweetheart.
honey,
Think about it like this, white people. If you have a name that has a really obvious joke associated with it, and every single person who meets you makes the joke like it's the first time that joke has ever been made, and it's the millionth time you've heard it, that's really frustrating
It's
for you
just not funny.
sometimes. And
Michael
that's like a millionth of what it's
Bolton?
like.
Hey, are you related?
I celebrate his entire catalog.
Samir Naga. Not gonna work here. It's easy. Samir not eating on a job.
So when you encounter that, when you run into somebody who's experienced a lot of bias, if you see an expression of anger or frustration, personalizing it, again, makes it about you and not about their experience. But often it's the millionth time that they've experienced that particular kind of microaggression, and it behooves us to try and learn about the experience of other people.
There's no doubt we got a long way to go because Starbucks happened. I don't know if you saw this cook at the University of Texas, North Texas Dining Hall, was fired for putting down the N-word to identify one of the customers there. Oh.
Yeah.
She took a picture of that and tweeted that out with a quickness, and he no longer works there. Like this, it seems like the stuff is popping up more and more.
That's actual race. That's like blatant racism.
Right.
It's. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Starbucks incident was also racism, but
there are people who are genuinely shocked to be told that their behavior was racist, and they need to learn, but it's a different track that they need to be put on than somebody who expresses overtly racist.
Do you think he was shocked when they said putting the N-word down on her receipt is racist?
No,
Do you think he was like,
I think he knew.
Whoa.
Yeah,
well, I listened to a Kanye album.
I have no doubt that he goes around and now adds fuel to his fire that people of color are out to get him. So...
Do you know what I recommend? So I have been hired at no through Dennys in my life. And Dennys had a scandal in the mid '80s.
I remember this. Who they sat first? They sat the white couple first.
They did. And
What happened?
So they got called for being racist. They weren't seating. The same
video I did.
They were making them. Yeah, I saw it 3 times, so I have it burned into my memory. They had a sensitivity training video that was part of being hired at any Dennys. They would put it on in this little tiny television, video, cassette, TV combo in the back room, and you would have to watch it, and they would do scenarios of like, they would have like a racist waitress and a non-racist waitress, and a black family would come in, and they would show her go like, and like make a face when they came in. it was fairly effective. I mean, it was very blatant.
Let me tell you about watching this video because Kelly and I saw the same video. My first job at Dennys was at the end of the 90s, just after all of this happened. And so when they set you up to watch this video, like he said, it's like a VCR combo TV. It's in the break room on this little... The break room at Dennys is like a little counter against the wall where people's purses and cigarettes and coats are all stacked. And then your one drink that you're allowed to have is also back there. So you're watching this video while all these servers and dishwashers and cooks are coming back and getting all their stuff around you. And then they put the black family in basically Bill Cosby sweaters.
They did. That's totally right.
I remember I was watching that.
It's pretty racist.
I remember watching that and thinking, well, that's also pretty stereotypical. Like, is he going to come out and be like, if I can't get the seat with the pudding pop and the jello, then I want to go somewhere else.
And Dennys was never racist again.
No, they sure were not.
I just would love to see Starbucks' version of that video that they make to train their employees. I hope that they train their employees that if they ever do like step on anyone's feelings or exhibit implicit bias, that they have them give a free copy of Sheryl Crow's Greatest Hits and or Enya to anyone that they might have hurt.
All of which available at the cash register. Next to an overpriced tin of mints that are really small.
Or Chris Rock's acoustic album.
Ooh.
Chris Rock or Chris Isaac?
No, not Chris, either one.
I want to hear Chris Rock's acoustic album.
Kid Rock.
You know what I saw though at Starbucks, and I'm sorry to like hype Starbucks now. They have cups. They have cups that are self-heating. You can turn them on with your phone. It's a coffee mug, and you turn your phone on with an app, and it heats up your coffee with the cup.
I just feel like something that's going to break after like 2 seconds.
No, because it's like $60, so obviously it's going to last like 5 uses, not 1. Anyway.
I hate Starbucks in general, so I train them, don't train them, I don't care. Shut the place down.
Just get back to making fluorescent drinks we can laugh at, Starbucks.
Green jacket, gold jacket, who gives a shit? Hey, we're heading into summer.
Yes, we are.
And that means summer blockbusters.
You mean movies?
Movies.
Michelle loves movies.
Are we going to become a movie podcast?
Sure.
Once a year we can talk about movies, Michelle.
Of me sitting here and reading my phone while you guys talk about movies.
I love movies. Why can't you just give me this once a year?
I do.
Can't you do something constructive like fill out your business license form instead of reading your phone?
Oh, yeah. Why aren't you done with that yet?
You guys go ahead.
Oh, she's really doing it. I was kidding.
I wasn't.
I am in trouble later.
I know. Man. I feel like the more I say, the more in trouble you are.
You're like...
I'm really sorry. She's been cutting me slack because work has been really hard for me.
I'm sorry. You're on this podcast.
No, this is the movie section.
You have no movies you want to see.
You have no movies at all that you want to see.
All the 50 Shade movies are out now, so there's none of those.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they're out. They're done. It's
No,
over.
there's one more.
What?
Isn't there?
No, I think that's it. I think that was all 3.
No, there was.
There was like 8 of them.
I don't know. There was another one. There was a wedding. Like Mrs.
Yeah,
Gray.
they got married. It came out on Valentine's Day or whatever.
See, that's how much I fucking pay
Does
attention.
she show a bouquet
Sorry.
of flowers or a bouquet of butt plugs? I got the anal beads. Oh my god, I'm next.
I had no idea it came out already.
Michelle,
That's funny.
this year you have formed a strong connection with a series of movies that we all enjoy, except Ian. And we'll give you the low-hanging fruit. This is the biggest movie of the summer. It comes out next week. What is it?
Oh, I've always been a fan of the Avengers.
The Avengers.
Infinity War.
Not the Sean Connery.
Are you prompting me right
Uma
now
Thurman
to
movie.
engage in conversation?
I want you to be
feel
on the
like I'm
podcast.
therapized right now.
Oh my gosh. Whatever.
Hey, Avengers is coming out. What are your thoughts on that, Michelle?
I like the Avengers. I think Captain America's actually going to die. I think you guys are right.
I think they should rename it Black Panther 2 plus some other guys.
I think I actually, like, it bothers me that they call Captain America Civil War because I think that really should have been Avengers Civil War. And then
It didn't have Thor and it didn't have Hulk.
I
So it
think
wasn't
this
the
could mark.
Avengers.
I think this could mark the beginning of the end for the Avengers franchise, because I think this is Robert Downey Jr.'s last one too, right?
There's one more. So there's 2 movies. It was originally going to be Infinity War 1 and then Infinity War 2. Then they decided this first one's going to be Infinity War, and we're not going to tell you the name of the second one. But that's the last one on everyone's contract. So everybody's going to die. At least Cap. Cap's got to die.
In this one, right?
I think the next one.
No, okay, this is Cap's last.
No.
This is his last one. So
Say that. I'm not ready.
So I don't think
I'm not
everybody.
either.
I don't think everybody dies so much. I think Captain America goes. I think Iron Man goes. But I think that they've been bringing up a crop of newbies. Hawkeye is not even in this one.
He's not?
I heard Hawkeye is like on assignment,
Wow, there goes the Modesto connection.
right? So I think that
yeah,
they're.
but they have the Galaxy people.
Yeah, the Guardians are going to be there.
That's what I'm saying. I think
Teenage
they're bringing up a
Groot.
new crop. I think they're dying off the old guard, and they're bringing in the Galaxy. I think Thor still has another one left in him. Spider-Man, that kid,
Spider-Man's just starting out. He's the new leader.
he's
Here's your
going to
guy.
be in there.
It's time for the everyone's favorite Falcon to step up and get some Falcon time.
Ant-Man is going to be in there.
Hey, I'll take all the Paul Rudd you want to give me.
I love Paul Rudd. I think Falcon's a stupid character.
Yeah, I mean, Anthony Mackie's a good actor, but that character is pretty much just like, sure thing, Cap, whatever you say.
Right. You know what Falcon is? In my opinion, his character is the same thing as Iron Man. Neither one of them has a superpower of their own.
Yeah.
They rely on a suit, and his is like he couldn't do something. Iron Man's fucking guarded by this steel that can't be penetrated. This dude picked a pair of goggles and some metal wings.
Yep.
He could have done better than that.
In Captain America Civil War, they call it a bird costume, which is just about right.
Also coming out this summer.
I was wrong.
What?
You're right. It's the next one that is Captain America's final.
Well, then.
I just said you were right.
Thank you. No, you're right. I back off of my tone. Wow. Thank you for fact checking. That was really nice. I'm not ready to say goodbye to Cap. I really love him. Hey, have we ever compared him and Superman before? That feels like fertile ground.
You can't compare the two. There is no comparison.
You're right. One is a homegrown superhero who came up through the school of hard knocks. The other's a guy with a lot of powers that just
He's an
got him when he was
illegal
born.
alien.
He didn't come up through the school of hard knocks. He was a shrimp. He was a skinny little kid.
Yeah, he got
who
knocked around.
Stop.
His ass
Can I
No!
finish this shit?
No!
He was a skinny little kid who he didn't have a hard knock life. He just couldn't make it in the fucking army because he was skinny. And they looked at him and said, "Hey, can we make this little shit fuck be an awesome ass superhero?"
No.
I don't know. Let's
Captain
inject him with some
America-
shit and see what happens.
Captain
and so
America
they did.
is an honorable and dignified human being.
Captain America is Barry
Superman-
Bonds. There's no honor in what either of them have done.
Superman is like the rich
dare
kid's
you.
Kurt Cobain
Yeah.
He was the grunge phase kid.
No.
The one who had nothing. He was you. That's why you.
This never
identified.
gets old. We should have this argument once a month.
Let me start
Every
talking,
time it's
do you want
like
me
the
to start
first
talking
time.
about baseball too.
No, just one at a time here.
Okay.
Anyway, so thank you for letting us know that Cap doesn't die till the next one.
Deadpool 2 also coming out.
Yeah, boy!
Did you watch the final trailer they put out? They put out one last trailer.
Oh, I'm so excited. Some of the really best X-Men characters are going to be in this one. Cable is awesome. By the way, Josh Brolin is playing both Cable in Deadpool and the terrifying Thanos in Avengers Infinity War. So he gets to be two interesting characters in the same universe.
They're introducing
Domino, whose superpower is mega luck. How cool of a superpower is just having amazing luck and everything works out for you?
Who is that?
Domino,
Domino. It's Deadpool's version of Black Widow, basically.
pretty much.
Yeah.
She's
But she's a boss.
badass. They have an on again, off again relationship. Although in this one, I'm sure that won't be the case because he's still got Lorena Baccarin or whatever her name is.
He's still with the
from
ex-hooker,
Firefly. Right.
Yeah, okay.
She best not die.
I can tell you that
Does syphilades take you
I've
out?
still never seen Deadpool.
You haven't seen Deadpool?
You would love Deadpool.
What? Holy shit.
You've never seen Ryan Reynolds getting pegged by a prostitute within 10 minutes of beating her?
Yeah,
Yeah, but that's not in Deadpool.
Okay. Well,
I know when I'm putting on the laptop this weekend in Disneyland
Oh,
where the
it's
kids
so
go to
good.
sleep. Yeah, I can't believe you haven't seen it yet.
I just rewatched it in preparation.
It ranks.
And it is so good.
It ranks right up there with the best of them. It's almost as good as Superman.
Thank
So-
you. Wow, that was a kind concession. We also have the Han Solo movie, which I am cautiously optimistic about, not because of Han Solo, but because they have Donald Glover playing Lando Calrissian.
Which I think is awesome.
It's going to be great. Donald Glover is amazing. He came up on Community. He was a writer for 30 Rock, and he's currently on one of the best shows on TV called Atlanta, which he writes and stars in. Is
it a funny show? I haven't seen it yet.
It is like all the things. It's got really amazing dramatic moments. It's got really like introspective stuff. It's sort of bizarre and weird, and then it's hilarious at times. It's got like all the stuff. There's no show like it.
Orlando in the morning. Here's my thing with Donald Glover. I love him. I think he's an amazing actor.
Yeah.
In the right role. In the wrong role, I think he lays big fat eggs that make me think, oh man.
Like what? What did you see him in?
I'm gonna get skewered for this one. I did not like his small part in SpiderMan. It was kind of To me, it almost seemed
better.
it seemed like it was Donald Glover in Spider-Man for the sake of having Donald Glover in Spider-Man.
Well, there was a backstory there because he tried to be Spider-Man at one point. He applied to play Spider-Man when he was a little bit younger. He tried to get Twitter to back him, and he got like 1 million people. But
I kind of remember that.
it was a bit of an Easter egg that they put him in. But
Okay,
yeah.
that makes a little more sense.
Yeah.
All right.
Was that like tokenism? We wouldn't let you play Spider-Man because you're black, but we'll definitely give you a small role.
I have a feeling he may be a recurring character. In fact, there were theories online that he might be the father of Miles Morales, who is the Superman who comes out. Sorry, the Spider-Man who comes after Peter Parker. But this is getting a little in the weeds. Not that we haven't been there for the last
that's
10 minutes.
the
but
B-side. I don't know, understand it.
Miles Morales was a really good Spider-Man.
How about this? Ocean's 8. The
I'm in.
all-female
I'm
cast.
super in.
Yep. If it's got Anne Hathaway, I'm down.
Yeah.
Who else is in it?
Sandra Bullock. Some
is
other
Tiffany
ladies.
Haddish?
I don't know. Is she in it?
I believe she is.
I don't want to say that for sure because I don't know. I could just be confusing her with Clusterfest.
Wow.
But
Rihanna, Sandra Bullock, Kate Blanchett,
it's not.
Anne
Yeah,
Hathaway.
it's not Tiffany Haddish. Then it's another.
Sarah Paulson, Mindy Kaling.
Ooh, Mindy Kaling.
Sweet. Both Kim Kardashian and Kylie Jenner.
See
both
that
in
right
it.
there? I'm done.
Oh shit, Kendall Jenner's in it too. Yes.
They're going to have a bit part.
Katie Holmes will talk out of the side of her mouth in this one too.
She does do that.
Did you notice that?
Yeah.
The one actress in Hollywood who came up with all the hype in the world and did not age well at all. She's an ugly duckling now, Dakota Fanning.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Renee Zellweger.
No, don't even go
So
there
how
with
often
Renee
do you
May.
talk about that,
I like
like
her.
with men?
Haley Joel Osment.
Did not age well at all.
I know, but from now on, that if you're going to say that about women, I want
James
that to
Corden
be the first
is also in this.
thing.
Olivia Munn
How did
is in
James
this.
Corden
Love
age?
Olivia Munn.
James Corden's young.
How did he age?
Same as everybody.
Dakota Fanning came into adulthood the same way that Haley Joel Osment came into adulthood. Not well. Haley Joel Osment is not in this. If he was, I would have said Haley Joel Osment did not age well.
Just want to make
Haley
sure you
Joel
check your
Osment,
implicit bias.
He is on a show called Future Man, and it was awesome.
Is it a show that's currently being made?
Yeah, it's on Hulu. It's on right now.
It's called Future. Is it funny?
It's super funny.
Okay.
Seth Rogen made it.
Because the awesome thing about Haley Joel Osment is even though he did not age well,
He's
he found a
hilarious.
funny bone.
Yeah, he did.
And I don't know if you saw the Entourage movie or not, but he was good in that.
Was he? I did not see it.
He had a little indie film called Sex Ed.
Oh, I heard about that.
That was funny. I like Haley Joel Osment now. I think he's gone. I was worried that he was going to be a lifelong. I see dead people.
Yeah, always kind of tearing up and.
I'm going to pay it back. I'm going to pay it forward.
Oh my gosh, that's a movie you should go back and watch in retrospect after the Kevin Spacey era ended. That's a movie I bet yields new and exciting dividends.
Zayn Malik, also in Ocean's 8.
Is
He's
he?
a One Directioner.
Ooh, he's the one that made that song I love from the 50 Shades movie. I love that song.
What song is it?
It's that I don't want to live forever, 'cause I know I'll be living in pain. That's so good, you guys.
That's with Taylor Swift. It's called I Don't Want to.
bet
I don't want to
you-
talk about that part.
I bet you they're going to fucking win another Academy Award.
It was already over.
Oh.
I wish. It deserved it. It was a great song.
You don't like Taylor Swift, huh?
I did for a minute. She
No.
had a sweet spot where she was
Nope.
a young ingenue with like talent to spare.
No.
And now she's,
A mean girl.
yeah, she's a mean girl.
She tries.
you.
It bothers me to no end because everybody's like, look at Taylor. She's so sweet and wonderful.
So sweet.
But here's the thing. You cannot have that many conflicts with people. Here's just some insight for people. If you have that many conflicts with people, you're the asshole. You are.
Yeah, she
You're
does
an
that thing
asshole.
where she runs up and smacks you and then goes, what? What did I
Right.
do?
And then she gets everybody on board to feel bad for her. And people are like, how could you be so mean to Tay-Tay?
Yeah.
She's a horrible human being.
She's like the biggest sweetheart with like the biggest heart.
Yeah.
And she wears red lipstick. Do you see it?
Yeah. What were we talking about? Oh, Ocean's 8. I want to see it. I haven't seen Dakota Fanning since she was a kid, so I can't speak to that. But
Here, come around here. Come around here and take a look.
I don't want to make
I
fun
want
of
you.
Dakota.
I don't want. You're not making fun.
She's
of,
part of this phenomenon, though, like the Olsen twins, too. Like, they have, both her and the Olsen twins had a younger, more talented sibling. Oh.
She looks like she suffers from fetal alcohol syndrome.
Oh, my gosh.
No,
Well, is that her? Some of those are her sister, Elle.
no, that's all Dakota Fanning.
Lower left is Elle.
You think that's Elle down there? Well,
That's
it's a
Elle.
related image.
That's Elle Fanning.
She fared better.
I haven't aged that well.
Yeah, but we're not movie stars. We don't have a team of people around
We
us.
have a popular podcast.
We have an award-nominated podcast.
We do.
Been
You
listed
are a local celebrity.
You are.
on the radio. And we were just talking about this earlier. I know what I'm going to find delightful, and I'll talk about when we find delightful stuff.
Sweet.
Okay. All right, those are the Summer Blockbusters. Facebook.com/KHOP951 if you want to chime in there as we move into what we think you'll find delightful or what we found delightful over the course of this past week. And last week, Michelle kicked it off. Kelly, why don't you go?
New Girl's back. Yay!
I've been watching the previews of that. So,
Guys, I love New Girl. I love it so much. I've never gotten tired of it. It has up seasons and down seasons. I love the show so much. I love all the characters so much. There are a couple of TV characters I really identify with. We were all talking about our favorite Parks and Rec characters and who we remind each other of. But I identify really strongly with Nick Miller on this show. He's sort of a slob whose brain doesn't work right most of the time, but he has enough roguish charm that he manages to stay friends with some people. And he writes a book called Pepperwood that is inexplicably what? Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm sorry. Do you not work in a prison too? Do you know what a peckerwood is?
Pepperwood.
I know, but I hear peckerwood.
Do we use the word Peckerwood at prison a lot?
Yeah, those are the whites that aren't affiliated. Peckerwoods. How do you not know this?
How have I gone 5 years in prison and not heard Peckerwood?
Okay, Peckerwood, keep going over there.
Anyway, New Girl, I love it. I love New Girl. I love all the characters. Schmidt never got old for me. Nick never got old for me. Winston is fucking delightful. Winston is a character on the show who, one of my favorite things about him is that he cannot prank well. He loves pranking people, but he either pranks too light or way too hard. So, for example, he once put a feather in somebody's shoe as a prank, and nobody noticed, so he didn't prank hard enough. And then the other thing he did was hit somebody over the head with a ski as a prank, which I think we would all agree is too hard.
I'm 3 seasons behind. A couple questions. Does he still have his cat?
Yes.
Okay. It looks like Nick's book is successful.
Spoiler alert, but yes. They have a time jump in this one.
Does he still own the bar?
That is unclear.
Unclear. Because my favorite season and my favorite scene was between Cece...
Popcorn machine?
Yes.
Yep.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I know what
right?
you're talking about.
But you know what it is? It's the smell. I think the smell's going to get
I can remind her to clean it.
That's got to be one of the most epic
It's
New Girl
so
scenes ever.
He
funny.
actually made me come in and watch it again.
I made my kids come in and watch it, which
Really?
a little bit. They love that show too.
Do they understand it though?
I think just enough to realize how funny it must be.
Someday this is going to have an impact on my life.
This is going to click with you one day.
I mean, I think that there are, like, you know, because it's basically a conversation where it's a great sitcom setup where two people think they're talking about very different things and they both think they're talking about the same thing. So one is talking about a popcorn machine that they want to get for the bar, and the other one is referring to her lady bits. And they're both talking about how it gets really smelly and you have to clean it and it gets really gross. I think kids can identify with, you know, cleaning their butts or whatever. Kids have butts, right?
Right.
Anyway.
They do, I think.
How did this get weird? New Girl's a great show. Just watch it.
Because you said that you had your kids listen to talk about vaginal smelling.
They don't. It's all
And I'm
double entendre.
No, I just knowing you, that's just an interesting factoid to me.
Maybe they really like popcorn.
Hey,
Kelly's a bad father this
know,
week on That's
is
Delightful.
not.
last
He's a wonderful father.
episode, Michelle was going through her Wish app and brought up that
That
The
weird finger
fisting
dildo.
yeah, we should show your kids and then
Yeah.
just laugh.
Just be like, this is a slap you in the face model.
A rubber hand.
Yeah, you like that, don't you, little bitch? Oh shit! All right, real quick before we move on from that, Schmidt, he's my favorite character on that show.
I love Schmidt.
The only other thing I've ever seen him in was a bit role in The Big Short, that movie.
Oh yeah, he played a great douchebag in that movie.
What else has he done?
He was on Veronica Mars. He was a police deputy, or he was a sheriff's deputy. He was sort of a lovable, more straightforward, kind of just likable cop who was a brief love interest for Veronica. He pops up here and there. I hope he finds work after this because I think he's quite talented.
I knew I loved him the first few episodes when he started like going parkour, jumping off the walls. That's when I knew I was in. Okay,
I love that
Is
guy.
that your dead dad pass guy?
Dead Dad Pass was Nick,
Yeah, Nick has Dead Dad Pass.
which I used. By
I
the
love
way.
Nick. You got a lot of Nick Miller in you too,
You think?
and a little bit of Schmidt.
I was gonna say Schmidt's way more neurotic than either one of us is,
Yeah, Nick's pretty neurotic too, though.
but
You are a combination of Cam, Archer, and Clark Griswold, and there will never be any swaying my opinion on that.
have you watched Archer at all?
Yeah, I love Archer.
I love
Or
Archer.
Modern Family.
Yeah. Oh, Cam. Oh,
He's
yeah. Nice.
Okay, so fuck you guys. Michelle, what do you find?
Cam is
delightful
awesome.
this week?
It was the fishing trophy episode where Cam kept moving Mitch's fishing or his something trophy off and put his fishing trophy on there, and it just kept getting bigger progressively. That's something Ian would have done.
We compared. I have to say our Parks and Rec comparisons because they were dead on.
Well, that's part of my delightful.
Okay, I'm gonna.
If you want to say that, it's part of my
go
delightful.
Ahead.
Okay,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go right ahead.
You go ahead.
So what I find delightful this week is when Parks and Rec was airing, Michelle said, "This is a stupid show. Why are you watching this?" And I watched it faithfully every single week. I lived I lived the ups and the downs. When little Sebastian died, I was there. When little Sebastian came back as a hologram, I was there.
You were one of the 5,000 candles in the wind.
It was one of the 5,000 candles in the wind. So I put on Parks and Rec last week, and Michelle kind of did not a 13 Reasons Why, a Stranger Things thing with me. I didn't realize it, but she was watching all the episodes with me. And it's like to the point that you can, I think, pull out a few jokes here and there about Parks and Rec, and she would get the references. And I was like, my heart is warm because we don't really have any shows anymore that we watch together.
No.
And this one is something I can put on Netflix and she'll watch. And I love it. I find Parks and Rec delightful because it's saving a marriage.
That's so great. Michelle
that
hates
marriage
so
in
many
peril?
things. You hate so many things that when you click with something, it is so rewarding. It
You
is
feel
so
like
cool.
you put
It's
both
like,
hands in the air. You're like, fuck yeah.
I had to earn that shit.
You know what I love about my friendships and the people that I'm hanging out with is how awesomely high they think of me.
No, you just...
We think very high of you.
You don't pretend to like shit.
We also
No, I
think that
don't.
you have a very selective picker. And so when we pick something that you really like, we feel accomplished.
Yeah.
We feel like, fuck yeah.
Because the
nailed
deck,
that shit.
the deck starts stacked with you. If you know we love it and want you to love it, it is already like 99 to 1 odds that you're going to give it a shot. Because you
guys-
know that we're like watching you watch it.
You guys are like basically panamorous with everything related to pop culture and entertainment. Unless,
not
of
true.
course, it's mainstream. You're kind of hipstery.
No, I'm not.
Both.
I
yes,
love a
you
Zayn
are.
song from 50 Shades of Grey too.
I don't want to live forever. I think it's our household. I think anybody coming in or anything coming in, the cards are stacked against it. With me personally, I instantly just don't like people from the word go. And then I look at it like tipping. It's up to you to earn the tip. It's up to them to show me why you're going to be an awesome friend. And so Michelle kept saying, yeah, Abbott from work really wants to play games with us. He really wants us to play board games. And I'm like, I fucking have Clue. I don't need a new friend to go play Clue with. So fucking whatever.
Yeah,
And-
but then he'd be like, I don't have any friends.
Because I don't like anybody. And so then we went over, and I think this was a little different because I gelled with your shit so quick that it went from I don't like this guy who I've never met because I don't like people I don't know to
Do you think he likes me?
I would like to lay with him.
I want to know him biblically.
I want to draw you.
I think he likes me. I don't know.
And that whole time I didn't even know what you did, so I wasn't even trying to like connect with your Modesto fame.
Yeah, I know. You would have gotten in on my 5-figure salary. But I'm looking at this guy. I'm like, can you sit on that chair facing away from me so I can just draw your profile? That towel you're wearing, drop it down just so there's just a little bit of crack,
Just tease it a little.
but not your whole butt. I've thought about this. That's as good as it gets. With
We can
Helen
make
Hunt.
any conversation about the bro love that we share.
So, but anyway, we were talking about our characters on Parks and Rec. I think Michelle is mostly Leslie Knope with a little bit of Ben.
April.
Yeah, April. I'm going to put April and Ben.
Yeah.
Because Ben has that has that look
political
of
wonk.
like, are you fucking serious right now?
Like, why am I the only one who doesn't get this?
Right. So you're Leslie, Ben, and April.
Yeah.
Well, how am I Leslie?
Because you have.
What are you doing right now while we're doing this podcast?
Yeah.
I'm future focused and goal directed. There's nothing wrong
There we
with
go.
that.
That's Leslie.
There we go.
It's not a criticism. Leslie's one of the best TV characters in history. That show has like so many of the best characters in TV history.
I'm gonna go Kelly. In my opinion, Kelly is Ben and a little bit of Jerry.
I was gonna say, and fucking
Fuck
Jerry.
you guys. I'm Ben and Andy. Give me that. Come on.
I was gonna say a little bit of Jerry, a little bit of Andy, a little bit of Jerry, and that I think. Well,
I'm
no,
always
Jerry
just-
doesn't take things personally though.
No, but at the end of the day, I have a nice family to go home to. That
you have a nice family
it
to go
doesn't
home to?
matter if everything sucks.
And if what that doctor said is true, you've got the largest penis.
And
You're welcome, America.
also with Jerry, everybody likes to fuck with you.
Yeah, but if I ever had a heart attack, in fact, I went to the hospital last month. That was the most likes I ever got on a Facebook post.
Was it really?
Yes.
I bet
I had
you.
no idea that was
You
going
would
to
be
happen.
that guy too. That when you die, people are going to come to your funeral and like people that you very rarely talk to and
Yeah.
cry histrionic tears about how close you guys were.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. That's you.
Will you
And
guys
Chris.
go and say
And
that
you
I
got
had a
some
fart
Chris.
attack?
Yes.
Really? Thanks.
I think you got some Chris in you.
And then we have Ian,
Who's Chris?
Chris
Rob
Traeger, Rob Lowe,
Oh, okay.
because I jog all the time and I'm in great shape.
Well, no, just you have a very sunny disposition to. Hey, Kelly, do you want to go to the flea market? Yes, I do. Hey, Kelly, while we're here, do you want to get flea market haircuts? Yes, I do.
Ian Riley, I certainly do.
So anyway, Ann Perkins.
And Ian is almost a perfect mixture, I think, of Andy, because
Yes.
of his roguish, lovable charms, and Tom Haverford for his self-promotion that somehow makes you like him more, not less. and his
720.
1,000-watt smile. Yeah.
I want to go on to Sky Mall and get all the things that he got for that camping trip. Do you remember the camping trip episode?
DJ Roomba, and he had his Xbox. Oh my gosh.
All right.
Who's Ron Swanson?
We don't have.
man.
That's what we're missing.
Do
Is
we
a
really
Ron.
have a Ron Swanson?
You got a bit of Ron in you.
I've got a little bit of Ron.
Yeah, you
Aside
got
from the
some Ron in
conservative
you.
stuff, but
Yeah, but your mistrust of bureaucracy is pretty well established.
well, that's because they fuck with me.
Sure. Yeah.
I want to get her the circular desk.
Someday when we have a fourth chair, we need to look for a Ron Swanson, Donna mix. Oh, you have a bit of Donna, we said as well.
Oh yeah, you
got a little
some
bit of
Donna
everybody.
in
I
you.
do.
Yeah, you. I am amazed that it took this long for you to get onto Parks and Rec. And then, you know what I told her? I said, "Wow, I bet you wish you would have watched it when it was out." She goes, "Psh, "I'm watching it now, so what does it matter?" Okay.
In fact, I think it's the Donna-Tom dynamic between you two that is part of why you two work so well. You guys have to treat yourself, because they're like best pals. Those two are like...
I like it.
Have you seen the new show that the Donna character is in now?
I've been taping it, but I haven't watched it.
I don't mind it. Michelle thinks that it's a bad show.
Oh yeah, no, the bad
Girls.
girls or whatever.
It's got a few people I really like in it.
no,
I like-
it's
It's
not
got
good.
Anne from
Meg
Arrested
Whitman.
Development. Yeah, Mae Whitman, who I
I don't know
love.
who the blonde is.
I'm trying to remember because I know.
It's irrelevant. It's a
and then,
bad
Really?
show. I think it's stupid.
God, why am I blanking on his name from Scream?
Matthew Lillard.
Matthew Lillard's in
Lillard.
it?
Yeah.
I don't give a shit if it's bad. I'm watching
Go ahead,
that.
say it.
What?
13 Ghosts?
Exactly. You didn't say it for him. He did not age well.
Matthew Lillard? Oh, he aged shitty. Oh.
Yeah.
He looks
Did he?
he looks like he's 45 going on 60.
Yeah, no, he looks awful.
Speaking of which, his best friend is Freddie Prinze Jr. Has anyone seen him lately? I'm
He does
guessing
WWE.
Yeah, he still looks like Freddie Prinze Jr.
he's a wrestler?
No, he's a ring announcer. He left Hollywood.
Freddie Prinze Jr. is a...
He
when
left
they
Hollywood.
had when they had kids, he left.
He left
didn't-
Hollywood to be a
yeah.
ring announcer.
Why did nobody tell me this?
I thought,
Well, now you know.
I have no friends.
yeah, he's basically the Joe Rogan of wrestling.
What
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
fuck? Oh my goodness.
Also, Freddie Prinze Jr. didn't age well.
I was going to say. Something in my heart told me. Okay.
No, he did not age well.
Joe Rogan didn't either. He looks like a sausage that the casing is bursting.
Somebody was asking me today if I ever listened to Joe Rogan's podcast, and I had to answer honestly. I mean, yes, but no. I don't think he's as funny as everybody else does.
He was amazing on news radio, and that's about it.
That's about it.
Who?
Even the Man
Joe
Show.
Rogan.
I thought he was terrible on the Man
yeah,
Show.
he wasn't good.
So
The Man Show wasn't funny.
It's like he wasn't in on the joke the way that
Kimmel
was. Yeah.
You didn't like the Man Show when it was what's his name, Adam Carolla?
yeah, why wouldn't I want to sit and watch a whole bunch of?
I mean, I'm not going to defend the Man Show.
But you're gonna defend the Man Show.
No, but there was a sense when Carolla and Adam.
Kimmel and Carolla.
Yeah, Kimmel and Carolla, when they were doing it, they were making fun of men as much or more than anything else they were making fun of.
Yeah.
And then Joe Rogan came on and it was like, look at the ladies. That's pretty much what it was.
Joe Rogan came in taking it seriously. Look at those boobies.
Yeah.
Everybody look at those boobies.
And it got creepy.
Boobs. And now women in lingerie on a trampoline.
Yeah.
Is how they ended every single show. That was their, the Daily Shows. Now your moment of Zen. This was women on trampolines was what they ended with. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Joe Rogan. I'm really not.
I'm a fan. Well, yeah, Andy Dick too. I'm a fan of their news radio work, and then let's just not talk about it after that.
What I will say, and I know we're going long on this, Meg Dick. Andy Dick's daughter.
Yeah.
Her Twitter, her short videos, she's fucking hilarious.
Really?
She is funny. She got her dad's humor. She got all the good parts
That's
of Andy
good.
Dick. So anyway, Michelle, you should find Meg Dick delightful, but
I find most Dick delightful.
there we go.
But
That's my wife, ladies and gentlemen.
Dick. Is that slang for something?
don't
Richard.
ink
Oh my God.
cock king. I don't know.
Don't eat cock king. You heard it here first.
I'm going to go to my favorite furniture store, Sofa King.
Do you see? Say it fast. Anyway, so what I find delightful this week is Ian and I purchased tickets. We've secured a babysitter for the weekend, June's 1st through the 3rd, which is the 3rd is technically my birthday, but I just kind of used it as an excuse to buy these tickets. Clusterfest in San Francisco. It's got Jon Stewart, Trevor Noah, Lonely Island,
Yes.
Tiffany Haddish.
Maria Bamford, Shane Torres.
Yes.
Did we say Lonely Island already?
Yes.
It's got Andy Samberg,
Michael Che. And it's
Maria Bamford,
and fuck
Lady
all
Dynamite
you people.
herself.
Salt and Pepper.
Yeah, which should be headlining.
They're going to be at the Stanislaus County Fair, by the way, too.
What?
Salt and Push It.
And so is Lifehouse.
Who is?
Why are you
Okay,
mentioning them in the
why
same
are-
sentence?
Sorry, go ahead.
And then who was the other band? Third Eye Blind is
Yeah.
also gonna. You what?
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 Say it ain't so, Kelly.
No, they're all right. They're pretty good.
You lied.
Do
that
they still
face.
wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend?
Step
Wish
back
you
from-
would step back from that ledge, my friend.
I would understand.
I love it when we sing on That's Delightful.
Yeah. So listen, moment of a truthful moment here. You didn't harmonize or hit that note.
No, I didn't.
Wait, okay.
But it was enthusiastic, which is what we want.
Right, because I'm talking about Clusterfest. So I'd been like plotting these tickets for months. And then Ian was like, hey, we got money back on our tax return. And it was like, fucking score. And so that's what we did.
And then we got Clusterfest.
Did you guys see that they have Double Dare physical challenges there too?
Yes, I saw the Nickelodeon
Dare.
Double Dare.
They're going to have a South Park County Fair there.
Yes.
And they're going to have the other Always Sunny in Philadelphia pub.
Patty's Pub.
It's going to be like Coachella, but good.
They are. They're also going to have an improv group. I'm wondering if they're going to have any sort of improv interaction. That I'm really I'm looking forward to all of this. There's the headliners that I want to see, but then I really kind of want to work the outer edges where all of this kind of fringe stuff that's sort of mentioned in the small writing. I want to check a lot of that out.
The ones that I have to see are Tiffany Haddish and Jon Stewart. Those are my musts.
You didn't say Lonely Island. Let's
And
go
Lonely
back.
Island.
Take that part out.
To be fair, though, I didn't remember who Lonely Island was until I was like, who the fuck is Lonely Island? All I could think of is Los Lonely Boys.
Los Lonely Boys.
Yes. That's all I was like,
Oh
who
my God.
cares about that?
Oh my God.
So,
No, I think it's going to be a ton of fun. I'm excited. I am really excited. And I have to lump my Father's Day gift into this too. So that's it. We're going to have a really good time on this.
yeah.
That's awesome.
So anyway,
And we invited Kelly.
I can't afford it. Womp,
Is it the whole office
womp.
thing?
I have a business venture that I'm getting ready to go in on, and I'm going to redirect my funds to that.
Yay!
Stay tuned, America.
I'll take pictures.
Yay. If I give you money, will you get me a Lonely Island t-shirt?
we'll probably get you one as a gift.
Will you get me an Andy Samberg of my very own? Actually, just tell Maria Bamford if she wants to be pen pals, I'm up for it.
Okay, I'll show her a picture of you in your podcast.
She's married and I have a dog at this point, but so it's not like a romantic thing. I just feel like I've always felt like we'd be really cool pals.
I have a dog.
All right.
Talk, everybody.
Facebook.com/That's Delightful. Till next time.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks for listening to That's Delightful. Online at totallydelightfulstuff.com, facebook.com/That's Delightful, and on Twitter at That's Delightful1.